Hello and welcome to your peaceful stimulus check update. So we have a lot to talk about today. We have the Get My Payment tool that is up and running. Oh, and also many of you wanted to see more Ender content. He's actually sleeping next to me, so I'm going to throw up a picture. Ender basically runs this channel now that he's been showcased a couple times. People want more Ender, less Max. But anyways, the Economic Impact Payment portal is open. So I'm going to explain how you can check this portal to see when you're going to receive this stimulus check, or if you need to add or edit any information. And we're going to talk about some common error codes with this stimulus portal and what you can do to address that. And we're also going to cover some frequently asked questions regarding the stimulus payment and making sure that you can receive this darn thing. Apparently I say darn thing way too much. Receive this darn thing as soon as possible. So jumping right in, this is how you check the status of your stimulus check. You're going to go to irs.gov/coronavirus/get-my-payment. I'll have it linked below. You don't have to type that all out. Also, make sure you're going to irs.gov, not .com, not anything like that. If you receive an email or a text or a letter telling you to go anywhere else, that's a scam. Don't go there. Don't put in your personal information to anywhere except irs.gov. Then you're going to click Get My Payment. We're going to go over to the computer here. So we click Get My Payment. It brings you to this page. It says this US government system is for authorized use only. Got it. Okay. Going from here, you just enter in your basic information, your social security number, your date of birth, your street address. Now this street address is only like the numbers, then your street name, and then the street, and if you have a unit number. You don't enter in your city, town, state, zip code, the little additional 4-digit zip code on the end of the zip code that no one knows what it means. You don't enter in any of that, just your street number, your street, the direction, and your unit number. That's it. And then your postal code. Then you'll click Continue. Now this will bring you to a portal that will give you the information that you need about your stimulus check. If it's on the way, it's going to give you a date. And it might throw some certain error codes. So let's cover the various codes that you could receive, the various situations, and what exactly they mean. So here's the 3 different situations you could receive. You're either going to get the payment status. It'll say a payment has been processed, and it'll give you the payment date, and if it is either sent by direct deposit or by mail. And it says if it's by mail, this could mean either a paper check or a debit card. It could be either. Now it might also say payment status not available. And this is what that screen looks like, just a screenshot. And if you get this message, it says either they have not yet processed your payment or you are not eligible for a payment. Now that's a little bit of a frustrating answer because it's like, which is it? Am I not eligible for a payment? And that could be the case for someone who, let's say they earned much more in 2020 than 2019. They already filed their taxes and they're not sure if the IRS is going to use their 2019 return or their 2020 return. So you're kind of like, it's up in the air. I don't know if I'm going to receive it or not. Unfortunately, all you can do at that point is just wait. They just either have not processed your tax return or have not processed your payment, or you're not receiving that payment. Or you might also get the notification that they need more information. If you get this message, it could be as a result of a few different things, but it means your payment was returned to the IRS because the post office was unable to deliver it. So to have your payment reissued as direct deposit, you can provide a routing and account number for a bank account, for a prepaid debit card that you already have, or some other kind of financial product that has a routing number and an account number. I know a lot of people have like those Chime accounts now. That's a potential to open up because I know they're fairly easy to open up. So that's the 3 different situations that you'll receive in that account. But there's some more frequently asked questions here that I want to cover as far as this Get My Payment tool and frequently asked questions. So why can't I get access to Get My Payment? So this is somewhat of a common issue as well. To use Get My Payment, you have to verify your identity information that we just showed earlier in this video. If your answers don't match those records, you try multiple times, you're going to be locked out for 24 hours. So that'd be why you can't get access if you are locked out of the system for 24 hours. Here's another frequently asked question I thought was worth addressing. I'm not required to file a tax return. Can I still use Get My Payment to check my payment status? And their answer to this is eligible federal benefit recipients who do not usually file a tax return will be able to use Get My Payment to check their payment status for their own payment when it's been issued. So it will only show up when the payment is issued in this case, but if you are eligible for 2021 for the stimulus check and you have not filed a 2020 return, they're saying that you still have time to do so. and this will allow you to add on a qualifying spouse and qualifying dependents if you have. So the IRS has gone out and said, to ensure that you receive those dependent payments, you're going to want to file a tax return. Now, you can do that online for free. Even if you don't typically file a tax return, they're recommending that you do that because of the dependent payments. If you have just child dependents, and you received a child dependent payment in the past, even if you didn't file a tax return, then you're probably gonna be fine. But if you also have an adult dependent that you didn't receive a payment for in the past, this is when you may wanna consider filing a tax return if your Get My Payment tool doesn't allow you to add that information in directly, which it might not. Now, moving on from here, we have a couple more questions I wanted to address. Why am I getting payment status not available? We already talked about this briefly, but it could either be they haven't processed the impact payment yet, they don't have enough information to issue you a payment yet, or you aren't eligible for a payment. If it's a situation where they don't have enough information on the payment, you'll be able to add information in. Where can I find the status of my first and second economic impact payments? The first and second impact payments have been sent. You can no longer check the status of those payments in the Get My Payment tool. So instead, you have to create an IRS account. This link brings you to this page, which I'll also have in the description. Here you create an IRS account. It's super easy. Just create a username, a password, and you'll be able to check the status of those payments. Now, if you still haven't received the first and second stimulus payment, the IRS is recommending that you file a tax return, even if you've never filed one before, because in that way you can file for a recovery credit for that stimulus check, or for any missing dependent payments, or if you received a check but just not the correct amount, you will file for that recovery credit. And I have a video on this that explains how exactly that whole process works, so I'll have that pinned above here. Next question, my address has changed or is incorrect. What can I do to change or correct it to receive my payment? The easiest way to update your address with the IRS is to file your 2020 tax return with your current address. The fastest way to file that return is to do it electronically. Now, the IRS has warned many times if you're doing a paper return this year, expect delays because of processing and coronavirus and what have yous. But you also may be eligible to add your banking information to the Get My Payment tool. However, this seems to be only open to some individuals, so that's something to consider. And then a couple more questions here. My bank account information has changed or was incorrect. Can I update it using the Get My Payment tool? They said if your bank information is invalid or the account has been closed, the bank will return your payments to the IRS and will mail you the check to the address that they have on file, or the debit card, whichever you happen to receive. These are questions about the EIP card. How is the EIP card sent and how do I identify it? The EIP card is a debit card sent in the mail. It comes in a very nondescript envelope. It's going to have the U.S. Department of Treasury seal on it, and it will have a return address from Economic Impact Payment Card. Last question here. I received my last economic impact payment on an EIP card. Will my next payment be sent to that card? Their answer to this was kind of funny, because they're just like, well, if you received a paper check the first time and a debit card the second time, that's how it works. If you received a debit card the first time, paper check the second time, maybe. Basically, their answer here is, we don't know. You could be sent either, but we're not really sure. So it seems like they almost don't even know what their system is for debit cards. So that's going to cover the frequently asked questions. Again, I'll have everything you need to know linked below. Also, in the links below, you can check out the link for Webull, where you can get 2 completely free stocks when you make an account and deposit $100. You don't have to spend the $100, and you get to keep those 2 free stocks. It's a pretty awesome deal. Plus, you'll be helping out this channel along the way. So I would like to thank you for watching, and I hope you have a profitable day.